Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 and Kimi K3 are both getting attention right now, but only one of them has a verified ranking. Kimi K3 sits at number 7 out of 190 models on the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, and that is a real third-party number. We are putting Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 against Kimi K3 across 4 real tests right now, because both models are live and teams are making budget calls today. Every score you will see comes from independent sources like Artificial Analysis and Open Router. No vendor spin, no invented numbers. One model has no public benchmark record at all, and that changes everything about how you should pick between them. If you are a developer or a team choosing an AI model for production, you need to know whether Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 can actually compete with a model ranked top 10 globally. Getting this wrong means paying for a model that cannot handle your workload, or passing on one that can. And that is real money and real time on the line. Test 1 is reasoning and multi-step math, and it matters if your work touches complex data analysis or coding problems. Models that score well here can think through hard problems step by step, and models that cannot will guess and sound confident doing it, which is considerably worse. Kimi K3 scored 93.5% on GPQA Diamond, graduate level science reasoning, and 88% on AIME 2025 competition math, with those figures coming from community reported sources citing Artificial Analysis and Open Router, so they are not direct lab results. Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 has 0 published benchmark data, nothing at all. And you can see the empty columns on screen right now. Kimi K3 takes test 1 because it has actual scores, and Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 does not, and you cannot win a race you do not show up to. Running score, Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.10, Kimi K3 won, with nothing to compare it against. Test 2 is inference speed and latency under load, and it matters if you are building anything that needs a fast response, a chatbot, a coding assistant, any real-time tool. A model that takes 4 minutes to start answering is a model your users will abandon before they ever see the output. Kimi K3 clocked 32.1 tokens per second output speed, placing it around 150th out of 190 models on the Artificial Analysis ranking, which is slow, and its time to first token was 252 seconds, measured directly by Artificial Analysis, meaning over 4 minutes before you see a single word. Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 has no published speed data at all, so there is nothing to put beside those numbers. Test 2 is a tie, and not in a good way, because Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 has no speed data published anywhere, so no winner can be called. The score stays at Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.10, Kimi K3 won, with 1 tied, and Kimi K3's 252-second wait time is not exactly a result worth celebrating. The 252-second TTFT comes from Kimi K3 running in max effort reasoning mode, which builds a large internal token chain before it responds, and lighter configurations could be faster if your use case does not need that depth. That data does not exist yet, so plan around the worst case for now. Test 3 is context window and long document comprehension. And if you are working with full code bases, legal documents, or book-length research papers, this decides whether the model can read your whole file or whether it cuts off halfway through and starts guessing the rest. Context size is a practical limit, not a marketing stat. Kimi K3 carries a context window of 1 million tokens, confirmed by Artificial Analysis and Moonshot's own documentation, and it scored 74.7% on the AA long context reasoning benchmark, though that figure comes from community reported aggregation, so treat it as a strong signal rather than a lab certified result. Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 has no published context specs, and the on-screen cards show that gap clearly. Kimi K3 takes test 3 because its context capacity is documented and sourced, while Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 has published nothing, bringing the running score to Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.10, Kimi K3 2 with 1 tied. For large document work, Kimi K3 is the only model here with a concrete sourced answer. According to community testers at nxcode.io, Kimi K3's performance in agentic workflows is sensitive to how you manage its thinking history context. So the million token window is real, but getting the most out of it in complex agent setups takes tuning, and it is not plug and play for every use case. Test 4 is pricing versus output quality trade-off. And this one hits your budget directly. A model can score well on benchmarks and still cost far more than expected if it is verbose or if the pricing tiers are opaque, and knowing what you actually pay per task is what keeps your API bill from being a nasty surprise. Kimi K3 runs at $3 per million input tokens and $15 per million output tokens, confirmed by Open Router and multiple blog sources. With Artificial Analysis measuring its cost per task at 95 cents, though Kimi K3 generates roughly 130 million tokens, where the median model generates 63 million. So your real output bill runs higher than the headline rate. Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 has no published pricing anywhere. Test 4 is a tie because there is nothing to compare. since Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 has no pricing data published at all, and any cost comparison would be invented. That brings the final running score to Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.10, Kimi K3 2 with 2 tied, and you cannot budget for something with no price tag. OpenRouter reports a 92% cache hit rate on Kimi K3 traffic, which can pull the effective input cost down to around 52 cents per million tokens. So for repeat query workloads, the real cost is much lower than the sticker price. And that matters a lot if you're running high volume repetitive tasks. Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1's clean slate works in its favor in one specific way. No published data means no confirmed weaknesses either. Sakana AI has a genuine research background in evolutionary methods and mixture of experts' architectures. And if those translate to efficiency gains, they have not shown up in public evals yet. So that is a maybe, not a win. Kimi K3 wins on every dimension where data exists. 93.5% on GPQA Diamond, well above where PhD experts typically score. A context window of 1 million tokens with flat pricing and no long context surcharge, and an independent ranking of number 7 out of 190 models from artificial analysis. Those are concrete sourced facts. If you need a model with proven reasoning scores, a massive context window, and independent third-party validation today, go with Kimi K3. Just budget for the slow TTFT and the verbose output costs. If you're willing to wait on Sakana Fugu Ultra version 1.1 and watch for independent evals to drop, that patience might pay off. But right now, there is no data to justify picking it over Kimi K3.